Hi guys, it's me, Trudy Lee. How's everybody doing? Get my microphone a little closer. I always forget to pull that up. At least it's plugged in though. It's a little bit overcast today. You can see my room looks a little bit dark. We had a really hard thunderstorm this morning around 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't know where Addie Cat was. I went and looked for her, but I couldn't find her. She was hiding somewhere. She is really afraid of thunder, so she wasn't under my bed, that's for sure. Usually she goes under the box springs, but she wasn't there this time. She had about 30 minutes before that, she started aggravating me. You know how they'll go and she likes to dump everything off the bureau here to get my attention. She wants me to get up. And she doesn't want to eat or nothing. She just wants me to get up. She wants me to go in the front room with her. And I'm like, you can go in the front room by yourself. So I walked into the front room and she walked in there with me. And I went back to my room and shut the door. So I got her to go out. And then I couldn't find her. I don't know where she went. Poor baby. She was hiding somewhere. And she didn't get in her hidey spot because the door was closed. Now I feel guilty that I did that. But I was so sleepy. Anyway, I've been working on different healing modalities and trying them out. And they're working out really well because a lot of times when I'm doing healing, I'm depleting my energy a lot. And I've been feeling really tired a lot lately. Just exhausted. And I do a lot of healing sessions all the time. And I felt really exhausted. So I've really been working on channeling the energy instead of using a lot of my own energy to make sure I'm channeling the energy and delivering it that way and saving some of my own energy so I'm not depleted all the time. And I slept so good last night too. And I did a really nice healing session on my husband about 2 nights ago. He has an ongoing shoulder problem and now he's having an elbow problem on the other one. He's falling apart, y'all. He's just falling apart. But he works really hard. He works outside and does all kinds of things. So I'm just trying to hold him together. And I did a healing session on him. My hands were on fire. I mean, they were on fire. They were so hot. I have a heating pad that's on my treadmill. You see how much I'm using my treadmill these days. It's laying across my treadmill, but it's not plugged in or anything. And he said, "Did you hate your hands on that heating pad?" So I threw it to him and I said, "It's cold as ice, feel it." So my hands were super hot. So I know that the healing was working really well. And I'm going to do another one for him too. So it seems like he keeps overdoing it. So he keeps constantly needing some healing. Okay, so what I want to talk about today is about guns. I like I said, I never know for sure what's going to come through. Of course, before I turned on the camera, I know already what Spirit has, message Spirit has. I already know that. But before I sit down, I really don't know what the message is going to be. And this is what has come out today is about gun control. And, are we ever going to get gun control in this country? There's so many horrific shootings. Every time we turn on the TV, every time you watch the news, somebody has been shot. A child, classrooms, a child going to a door looking for his twin brother gets shot. It's just horrible. The things that are happening are more children get shot in the United States than any other country. It's just crazy, crazy. And people are so concerned about their rights being taken away. They act like they have more rights to own a gun than a child has to be safe and not shot. And people own guns because they have fear, because they're afraid. Some people just want a gun because, I want a gun. That's my right, so I get to own a gun. But there's many people that are afraid because there's so many people that have guns. They feel like they have to have a gun too. So we've got that going on also. They just feel like they need protection for themselves and for their families because there's just so many guns out there on the street. So, we're in a horrible chasing our tail circle kind of thing. It's very sad. And this is what I'm getting. Okay, this is this is actually a very good demonstration of society manifesting. And that's terrible. That's not what we want to manifest, but that's what we're doing. We're all worried about a shooter coming in to the schools, to the malls, into the workplace, and shooting up the place, shooting people, and the fear is echoed back to us, and we're in this cycle. It's terrible of fear and need to protect. And if there weren't guns out there, there wouldn't be these shootings. At least there wouldn't be so many of them. If there weren't guns out there, and there wouldn't be all this fear. We wouldn't be in this cycle that we're in now, this chasing our tail cycle. And there's mass shootings every day, every week, every day. Every day somebody gets shot, but it's been lately, we've just like every week there's this mass shooting. And that's got to change. Guns kill people easily, quickly, and effectively. If there's a mentally unwell person and he can't, he wants to do damage to, somebody that's mentally just having a breakdown, and that's what a lot of time that's what this is. This is people that are a little unhinged, that are unwell, that are having a mental breakdown, and they go on a rampage. If they didn't have a gun, what would they do? Take a knife, take a club, which could actually be taken away from them, or that would give people a chance to wrestle it away, jump on that person, whatever. It would give them a fighting chance, put it that way. But when somebody has a gun and you're trying to take it away from them, they're going to shoot you with the gun. How are you going to take it away from them? But you could possibly take a knife or a club or something, away from a person. But a gun, not so much, right? And just think of how many lives would be saved if a person that was unwell couldn't get their hands on a gun. That would be a game changer. Definitely, definitely. And that's really what we need. We really need that. We need guns to be regulated, licensed, and nobody needs an automatic weapon. Nobody needs a weapon of war. Nobody needs a weapon that was designed for the battlefield. We don't need that. Nobody needs it, and nobody should have it. Those should be completely outlawed. And I do believe that will happen. I do believe they will be outlawed again. There is change coming, okay? The children that have lived in fear, that are going to school now, they're going to be grown up one day. They're going to be voters. They're going to be lawmakers. And they're going to be change makers because a lot of them have actually lived through this. They've survived their school being shot up, or they know somebody that has, and they've gone through all the drills. Every student in schools nowadays has to sit through drills, has to learn how to react, what to do, and it's really sad. It's really, really sad. But change is coming. It is. And unfortunately, until that change does come about, there are going to be more deaths ahead. That's what I'm seeing. But this lights a fire in the young people. It really does. But in the meantime, we don't need to be complacent about it. Just because we know that change is coming, we still need to take action. We still need to do our part. And there are things that schools can do to be more proactive and keep our children safe and secure. And one of the things that I'm seeing is security cameras. Security cameras installed all around inside and outside of the school. They should have that, but not all schools do, but they all need it. And that needs to be advocated. and that needs to happen. So that happens through, when parents, you go to the meetings, go to your school meetings and advocate for those things to happen. Um, what else? Oh, this is ask the NRA to pay for all these added protections. Ask the NRA. They want all the guns on the street. Ask them to donate to the schools for all this added measures of security. I'm sure they'll just be ready to step up and pay for them. Um, Also, this is what I'm being shown. Teachers are going to have a system put in place. It, like you have a Bluetooth to your phone, so they'll be having all teachers will have a Bluetooth in their ear. It'll be to their phone, probably. I would imagine it's to their phone. I know a lot of classrooms do have phones in their classroom that are hooked up into the just to the school. But I feel like this will be a Bluetooth system through their phones that they'll be able to get real-time messages and information right away. Now, you would think that would be in place right now, and maybe some schools do have it in place, but it's not as widespread. But I see this as something that's going to be implemented and very widespread. That way, right away, teachers can know if somebody comes in the school, if somebody's shooting the school, boom, they're getting the messages. They know where he is. They know what's going on right away. They know if he's approaching, they can find out exactly what's going on through this. Everybody will be hooked up. All the teachers will be hooked into this system. Also, bulletproof doors on the classroom doors. Now, some classes already have that, and of course, a locking system. So the doors lock. Now, a lot of schools already have this. The newer schools are being designed with this, but we're going to have to advocate for the older schools to get updated and have these locking systems and bulletproof doors. That will really save lives. If a gunman can't get through the door, he can't kill the children. So that's another thing to advocate for until this change comes. What else? Okay, so as we know, the school already is educating the children on how to behave, what to do. What is that they say? If you see something, say something. So as a parent, as a grandparent, you have to follow up with that also. You have to reiterate that with your child and make sure that they understand what that means, and that they're being truthful and honest and never covering up for a fellow student. Like, oh, well, he just, brought a gun to school, but he's not going to do anything with it. You know what I mean? To make sure they understand. Or if a child says something that he wants to hurt another child or acting strange or whatever, you have to make sure that you're speaking to your children and let them understand and know that they have to speak up. They have to say something. They have to talk to a teacher, somebody in the office. Let them know that they have to follow through with the education and what they've been taught. They have to follow through with that. And it's our job as parents, as grandparents, that we make sure, we're always talking to our children, what's going on with them day to day. How did it go? What happened? Anything weird happened today? Was everybody behaving? Did you hear anything? What's the gossip? What's going on? So that we can stay in touch and we know what's going on, and we know that our kids feel safe in telling an adult and ourselves or somebody at school what's happening if they need to be alerted to it. Because a little kernel of truth can save many, many lives. And that is real. That is really the truth. And remember, our children are counting on us, so we can't be complacent, and we can't wait for somebody else to pick up the baton. We can't wait for our children to grow up and say, we want to change things. We need to advocate for them now, even though that change might not take place right away, but there are stair steps to everything. And, we've got to do our part. So my grandson's school went into lockdown about 2 weeks ago. My daughter came to me. She had her phone and she said, "Oh, the school's on lockdown." Some child called in and said another child had a gun, and of course the school went into lockdown. And the police were called, and they searched for the gun. And evidently they knew who called because they have caller ID, kids. There's caller ID on your cell phone too. They know who's calling. So this person told a little lie. It was an untruth. It wasn't true. So, remember to tell your kids there are severe repercussions for, pulling a hoax or, making a false statement. This kid was picked up by the police and taken down to the police station. Yeah. I don't know what happened to him, but I'm sure it was not fun and it was not good. So remember to, when you're talking to your child, to tell them there's, severe repercussions for, making false statements. You don't want to do that. The next thing that I'm being shown is I see dogs sniffing. I don't know if they did this in my grandson's school, but I see if they're looking for a weapon, all they got to do is bring a dog in there. The dog can find the weapon like that. I think it's gunpowder. They smell the gunpowder. And they'll be utilizing dogs more in schools. So if somebody calls in and says there's a weapon like that, and all they got to do is bring the dog to look for it, and the dog will find it. If there's a weapon, the dog will find it. So they might even bring a couple of dogs, and get it done quick. They can go through the school really fast and find, they can clear it out. So I don't know if they did that at the school, but that's what I'm being shown. That's going to happen more and more and more. Maybe there'll be a dog on campus. Each campus have a gun dog. That'd be good, right? So if you wanted to have a gun on campus, you'd be alerted right away. No, stay away. Oh, goodness. The next thing that I'm being shown is, what's going to come out, you guys? And this is so sad. There is bullet-resistant clothing for children. Did y'all know that even existed? That is going to even become more popular. Isn't that sad that we have to have something like that? It's terrible. But I see it becoming more lightweight because the Kevlar vests that the police wear, they're really heavy and uncomfortable. And you can see them under their clothes and all, they're so thick and heavy. But I see these children's clothing, I do know that they have, I've seen backpacks that were bulletproof, and there's hoodies that are bulletproof. But they're kind of big and baggy, so you wouldn't really know if they're, but you couldn't wear that all times of the year. When it starts getting hot, you definitely wouldn't want that on. But I'm seeing a lightweight, it's like an undergarment, but it's a shirt. I feel like a shirt will attach to it. Like you can change the shirts out. So it's not going to look like a vest, or it's not going to look like a bulletproof shirt or something. It's not going to be that noticeable. You know what I mean? And you'll be able to change the shirts out with it. But I feel like they're fitted onto it for somehow. That they're going to be fitted to that. It's almost like an undershirt. Not like a vest, but like an undershirt. And then there's going to be a special shirt that goes with it. So I don't know. That you can wear. There's going to be like several different designs that you could buy with it. You know how this is, how this works. It's going to be something that they can make money from. They're going to make money from you being fearful and wanting to protect your child. But it's going to be an industry for a little while, unfortunately. So it's, I can say unfortunately, you can be fortunate, unfortunately. Some people, it'll give them a peace of mind, and, they'll be happy to buy that, and they'll think, well, that's better than my, at least my kid has a little bit of a chance if a shooter comes in. But how uncomfortable is that you have to wear something like that to school? It's crazy, but there's going to be some children that are definitely going to be wearing them. Okay, what else? I just want to just end with, you know, definitely make no mistake about it. These children will grow up and change the laws. They will. They've been put through a lot and they're going to change the laws. So thank goodness for that. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is a little bit of politics. You know, you guys, I've been staying away from politics a little bit because I've been going through, doing politics for years and years and years. I know you guys really like to hear that, but it takes a toll on people. And I've been doing, like I told you, healing sessions more and more, and I've been really staying in that vein. That's what I feel passionate about and I love doing. So, but I am going to talk about Justice Clarence Thomas because he's been in the news so much. So Justice Thomas and Justice Alito just dissented on the Supreme Court's ruling with the abortion pill drug, right? So we're not surprised about that because, Justice Thomas is been getting lots of perks for, siding with the Republicans. That's the way I look at it anyway. Because we know he's received some luxurious vacations. I mean, gosh, can you imagine going on a vacation that cost $500,000? That's crazy. All financed from the Republican billionaire donor Harlan Crow. And Crow also bought some real estate from Thomas, several properties, including his mother's home. And I believe as a child, he lived there too. It was just a small 2-bedroom house, and I think there was 3 properties altogether, right? He bought them for almost nothing, but I don't know what, they're very small homes, and maybe they're not in a great area, I don't know. But, under $200,000 for 3 properties, that's pretty cheap. But Crow bought all these properties, and his mother was still living in that house. And what did he do? He fixed that house all up. He made that house really beautiful and nice and comfortable for her, and built her a carport. He spent thousands of dollars on that home, which is nothing for him. But of course, that's a nice thing to do for a judge's mother, right? And he never disclosed any of that. He didn't put it on his taxes or anything, and he's supposed to, anything, over $1,000, he's supposed to put it in on his taxes like everybody else, and he didn't because he's above the law. He's a justice. He didn't have to do that. But this is what I'm seeing with him. His wife, Jeannie, she's right smack in the middle of, trying to overthrow the election. She's just right in the middle of everything. And I see this big cloud of gray around Justice Thomas that takes him down. That's exactly what I'm being shown. It's not a black cloud, it's a gray cloud. And this is what I feel like this is what this means. That it's what he's done, the things that he's done wrong, isn't going to bring him legal jeopardy, meaning he won't be accountable for it in a legal terms, but it's right on the fence. It's gray, so it's right on the fence. It's, it could go either way. You know what I mean? Maybe if they dig a little further, they might find something a little more black instead of being gray. So he's on the fence right now, and I feel like that he will probably decide to retire pretty soon here. Now, I know everybody's saying he doesn't want to retire because Biden's in office, and then he can, he would want to wait it out. But I think Biden will go for another term. He will be elected one more time. He'll do his second term, and he'll have that chance. He will replace Thomas, because I do think that he's going to leave under a cloud of gray. You know what I mean? That takes him down. That, you know, living under this cloud of suspicion and being, let's just say it like this. He's not well liked by a lot of people. The people are suspicious of his behavior now. It doesn't look good. So he's got this gray cloud over him all the time. And I don't think it's very comfortable for him to live his remaining years in this position. Always looking over his shoulder, always worried about, some crazy person, something, happening. Or they've already had quite a few scares, all the justices. And I feel like that he will just end up retiring because of all this, and hopefully a lot sooner than later. No matter what, it'll happen pretty soon. He's 74 years old. He is one of the oldest justices, so he is likely to retire, and maybe try to live the rest of his years in peace, because he's not going to have peace. As it's going right now, he is not going to have peace. If he retires and walks away, I think everything will die down for him, and he knows that. So I feel like that he'll just end up retiring. And like I said, Biden will serve another term. He'll appoint some new justices. He'll be appointing more than one justice, not just Thomas. He'll appoint more. And everybody's thinking about, this is funny, even my husband, that how can Biden do another term? He's so old. And my husband said, he's not going to do another term. I know he's not. He's not going to run. And I'm like, yeah, he's going to run. And he's like, no, he won't. He's not. He's too old. And this is what Spirit is telling me, because Spirit has such a good sense of humor. Let me get this right, okay? Just because you're old and a little worn doesn't mean that you can't do the job, okay? Just because you might, walk a little slower than you used to doesn't mean you can't do the job, because he does walk a little slower. But what Spirit is showing me, what is making me laugh, is Spirit shows me a raggedy old toothbrush. You have that toothbrush you haven't replaced, and the bristles are kind of poking out a little bit, and it's kind of looking like it's been used quite a bit, but it's still doing the job. It's still getting your teeth clean and protecting you from cavities and germs. Still doing its job, even though it looks a little raggedy. And that's what Spirit is showing me. Just because something's been used very vigorously doesn't mean that it's still not good. It still can do a good job. And that's funny that Spirit would show me that, because my husband has got this major thing about toothbrushes. Maybe that's why he feels like that Biden is too old. He has to change my toothbrush at least once a month. And maybe you guys do it, and I'm just weird. I'm like, why do you keep changing my toothbrush? He's got a thing about it, y'all. He buys toothbrushes by the package, and then all of a sudden I'll see a new toothbrush, and I'm like, well, which one's mine now? We have two sides of the bathroom, but we only brush our teeth on one side, which is weird, I know, but you got your toothbrush holder in one place. We don't have two. I have a sink on my side and his side, but I brush my teeth on his side. So he's always changing my toothbrush. If it was up to me, it would probably sit there for months and months and months. I'm like, it's fine. What's wrong with it? I wash it off with hot water. It's fine. But that's what Spirit's showing me. So it's making me laugh, because that's his thing. I don't know. He's got to replace my toothbrush at least once a month. He's like, you need a new toothbrush. We got to have new toothbrushes. And at first, when you use a new toothbrush, it's like, it feels weird. And I'm like, why did you change my toothbrush? I don't like this. Then you get used to it, a day or two, and you're all used to it again. So anyway, that's the difference between a Gemini, like my husband, and a Taurus, like me. Gemini, change, change, change. Taurus, stuck in the mud. I'm happy where I'm at. Don't change nothing. I like it just the way it is. All right. Anyway. Ah. Oh, it's already 30 minutes, you guys. I better let y'all go. This is going to be a long one to upload. Thank you guys for listening and following along. I appreciate it. I've been doing a lot of healing sessions, and I feel like they're doing very well for people. If you'd like to get a healing session with me, just email me. If you comment below, I won't be able to get to you in all the comments. But if you email me, I'll definitely do a healing session for you. Even if you don't hear from me right away, no, I have done that healing session for you. Okay? And if you need a loved one, a friend, anybody, somebody in need, you want a healing session, I'll be happy to do it for them. Okay. What else? If you'd like to get a reading, I'm doing readings also too, so I do those every day. If you need a reading on any subject, anything that you want reading on, you want the Celtic Cross, you want just to ask a few questions and try to get some guidance from Spirit, I'm happy to do that for you. And that's what this is. I always say that I'm a reader. I read with love. I'm not going to tell you, negative things, bad things, because I don't read like that. I ask Spirit to show me guidance with love, and that's what I'll provide for you because that's what comes through. That's what I've asked. So if you want to get, some guidance that will be helpful and loving, just look me up down below, actually. Down below is my email address, and I'm happy to help you out and do a reading for you. If you need a love reading, ask some questions, or just a Celtic Cross, see what's going on for the next couple of months, how things are going to unfold, or maybe your career, you're looking for a promotion, let me know and I'll help you out, okay? All right. Thank y'all so much for listening. I appreciate it. I love you guys, and let me know how things are going with y'all, okay? I love to read your comments and see what's going on with y'all. Hopefully you guys are having some nice cool weather like I am. It's nice. I don't have to have the air conditioner on, so I'm very happy. And it'll soon be May, and I've only had the air conditioner on twice so far, so thank goodness on that. And it's 60 degrees now, so it's still nice. I think that's as warm as it's going to get today, so yay. Hopefully the tornadic weather and everything is settled down, and, people aren't going to we'll get past this spring weather, that's so crazy. There's always something though, right? There's always something. All right, guys, love you so much. Do something kind for somebody. It'll always come back to you. I'll talk to you again. Bye for now.